episode is not for just dance instructors. It's for anyone who has built an identity around being the one at the front of the room, coach, founder, pastor, or manager, the parent who run household, anyone who ever asked himself, who am I when I no longer the one leading? Well, we are glad to see everybody else today. And let me welcome my co-host, Yolanda Sample. Hey, Yolanda, what's going on, girl?
Hey, Dr. Paula, I am doing good. But we've had some devastating
Oh
weather
my
over this past
God,
weekend.
Philadelphia! What
It has been
my
really
hometown?
bad,
What happened to Philip, West Philly and
right?
Southwest Philly? I hope
My
everybody's
old
out there good.
neighborhood. Yeah, I'm hoping so too. I've
Yeah,
heard that they're still doing a lot of cleaning up, but most importantly, I hope everybody is safe.
yeah. Well, thank everybody for joining us tonight. We have an important topic tonight that I feel that's kind of whatever. But Yolanda, we got a new
Hmm.
segment going on.
That's true. So before we introduce the topic for today, we're going to talk a little bit about what's shifting in the soul line dance community this week. Number one, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with this, trail ride line dancing is still the strongest crossover trend. The trail ride dance is becoming a debated category. Groups are defining line dance genres as urban soul line dancing, southern soul line dancing, trail ride dance, of course, stepping, hustle in the Midwest, country western line
Wait, wait,
dance.
wait, wait. Who would have thought that soul line dancing is going to break down, or line dancing going to break down the categories? I would never thought that in a million
Exactly.
years.
No. No, back in the day it was country and it was
That's
soul.
all.
Now
Now
it's
we got
all
these
these
different
different genres.
categories.
Exactly. And even instructors are becoming educators and brand developers.
Mm-hmm.
We're building their brands. Podcasts, just like this one, are discussing community issues more openly. High stepping. And how about this one? I trust him. These are two inspirational gospel line dances right now, and these are the dances that people are
Wow.
doing. Wellness is becoming a large conversation. You know how people are losing weight, people are getting rid of high blood pressure and
Yeah.
diabetes, and the biggie, AI.
Oh my God.
AI generated line dance songs even are starting to show up and stirring debate about authenticity. We touched on that a little bit last week with
Yeah.
the AI line
AI.
dances.
Hey, AI not going anywhere. So I mean,
No.
it's good to use AI. There's nothing wrong with AI, but don't
Hmm.
don't make AI you. It's
Right,
just a tool.
right. Still maintain your identity.
Still maintain your
Exactly.
identity. So the topic for today is how to transition from instructing soul line dance and stepping back from the limelight. I dare not say how to retire from soul line dancing. People be throwing stones at me, bottles. So I said, let me use a softer word. How to transition from instructing
Hmm.
soul line dancing.
Well, here's what we're headed to today. Number one, the psychology of identity fusion.
Mm,
That's when you become what you do is who you become.
mm,
Number two, recognizing when the season has changed. Dances aren't the same as they used to be.
mm,
Number three, the psychology of letting go of the spotlight,
mm.
not always being that it person. Number four, building your legacy instead of chasing relevance.
Wow.
Five, finding new purpose beyond the dance floor.
Mm,
And six, leaving with grace, knowing when to bow out so that your influence lives on. You're leaving that legacy behind.
wow. Wow. Those are some deep topics. Now
Yeah,
y'all
it's a
very
lot.
welcome to comment. Let me go to my comment section so I can see any comments, uh, any questions that you may have. But there's a concept called identity fusion. This occurs when a role becomes so deeply merged with your sense of yourself that losing the role feels like losing yourself. That's deep.
Mm.
And that happens to a lot of people. You don't just do the thing anymore. You are the thing. Here's the problem
Mm.
with fusion. When your identity is fused to a role, any threat to that role, such as aging, you know that's going to happen. Injury, possibly
Yeah.
could happen. And a new generation of instructors is going to happen. Or simply wanting to rest feels like a threat to yourself. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between I'm stepping back from teaching from I am
Mm.
disappearing, because that's what you're thinking. The front of the room gives you visibility. You are seen. It gives you purpose. People are counting on you, literally, to call out those steps. And it gives belonging to you or the center of the community that you built. All of these things can become
Mm.
addictive. Oh, addictive,
Yeah.
boy?
Mm.
I know alcohol and drugs and food and but addictive. Now imagine stepping back from
Yeah.
all three at once. That was me 10 years ago. I stepped back teaching dance around 2014. When God had other plans for my life, I began to study dance movement therapy. It changed how I looked at movement and dance. I thought, I taught. I taught at birthday parties here and there. I worked with my seniors in Jersey here and there. But I found myself not feeling as I felt 30 years ago, having that adrenaline rush. Can't wait to get to class. Can't wait to start dancing. This live and eat soul line dancing. Then I actually lost interest in entertaining and teaching. I grew up doing that. I was completely focused on completing my studies and offering more to people who silently struggled with behaviors, personality disorders, and other problems. But I would
Mm.
still love teaching dance and clinical psychology. I shared my feelings with my son, who is also a licensed therapist, and he said, Mom, why can't you do both? I never thought about that. And so I took my concern to God in prayer, and this was when I came up with the concept of a podcast and named it Psychology on the Dance Floor. Now, this concept didn't just happen overnight. I was talking to God for at least a year, but everything is in God's timing.
It
We're all going to go
absolutely
through
is.
this in our career.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you retired. It sounds like you transitioned into another
That's the
role.
title of this
Yeah. Within the realm of dance, you just transitioning. Kind of
transition.
like me, where I'm
I'm
transitioning over to the DJ
transitioning.
side more so.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I didn't realize that's
Mhm.
what I was doing. It was just that it just happened. Just happened. Now I
Mhm.
know when I transitioned, when I retired from the Navy, and while I was working for the Navy, I've told the story. I was playing business. I trademarked and incorporated R&B, Philadelphia R&B Soul Line Dancing Incorporated.
Mhm.
I was playing business. I made an S corporation. I created my logo. I was playing business, but I never knew that the day was coming that I was going to transition
Mhm.
from my full-time job to teaching soul line dancing. So I can say
Right.
that was a transition, but the other way just
Definitely.
sort of came up. Yeah. Yeah. And then the thought of stepping back or changing careers is scary because when you spend years building, teaching, trademarking, watching students you train to go on to build their own rooms full of students, stepping back doesn't feel like retirement. It feels like disappearing. And I did
Mm.
disappear. Did anybody see me on the dance floor? Y'all don't even know who I am today. That is just what
Right.
happened.
Right.
I disappeared, you know.
What you say is completely true. Stepping back can feel like a small death,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Not because anything bad has happened,
Mm-hmm.
but because a version of you that existed in that room, in that role,
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't exist in quite the same way anymore.
Wow. It's important to recognize that. Yeah, it's important to recognize
Hmm.
when the season change. And not only just in your career, but in life in general. Seasons are going to change. You're going to have your spring, summer, winter, fall. You're going to have good seasons.
Hmm.
You're going to have bad seasons. You're going to have seasons that are going to test you. you that's life. That's life.
Right, right. Well, let's talk a little bit about timing because one of the hardest parts of transition isn't the how, it's the when.
Mm.
Knowing when to hold them, knowing
Know
when
when
to
to fold
fold them.
them.
How do you know?
Know when to run. Know
How do
when to
you
walk
know when
away.
that exactly? How do you know when that season has actually changed?
Yeah.
The body, time, the spirit, they all send different
Yeah.
signals. And they don't always arrive at the same
No.
time.
No.
Like you mentioned earlier, physical
Mm-hmm.
limitations, your health may
Mm-hmm.
change, family responsibilities. As we get older, our parents get older.
Mm-hmm.
You get caregiving
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities, loss of passion
Yeah.
versus burnout,
Yeah.
realizing that your contributions no longer has to be measured how often you're seen on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And accepting that every chapter of your life has a
Has a
purpose, just like you
purpose.
said. Hmm.
That's right.
The body may signal it's beginning to get a little physically tired.
Yeah.
I know
Like
I
I know
had my
I'm getting
moments.
tired.
Exactly. You can still call out counts,
uh,
but recovery for the body takes a little bit
yeah,
longer.
y'all know.
Maybe
Y'all
you'll
know. All the people out
modify
there, you
more
know who
than you
you
used
are.
to.
You know who you are.
Yes, you start to modify steps more than you used to.
yeah.
You even notice yourself dreading the physical demand instead of feeling energized about
Mm-hmm.
it. You talked about how you loved and
Mm-hmm.
getting ready for your class. That energy starts to wane.
Yeah.
The body doesn't lie,
Mm-mm.
even when the ego insists that it
I'm about to
does.
tell that eagle something, girl. Y'all got to watch that eagle.
Yes, it
It
does.
lie to
You
you
got
every
that
time.
right. Mhm. And then there's time. Time, you ask yourself honestly, when you walk into your class, is it joy or is it obligation?
yeah.
A little bit of both, maybe. And instructors often keep going long after the joy has faded
I don't know
away.
how y'all do that.
Because, yeah, because the identity of being the instructor is still intact, even when the feeling is gone.
Yeah.
Obligation dressed up as a passion is one of the sneakiest transitions to miss.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, just look around your classroom. Are there instructors coming up under you? Are they ready to teach?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we hold the mic a little bit too long, a little too tightly.
Give me that mic.
Keep
Give
it
me
up.
that mic. This is my mic.
But not because we're needed, but because letting go feels like losing relevance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what you want to understand. Seasons don't end with a dramatic door slamming shut. They end quietly
Mm-hmm.
and gradually.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the moment you were supposed to transition with grace.
Yeah.
Instead, you'll be pushed out by circumstances, by your body getting tired and breaking down on you,
Mm-hmm.
or even by burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing the season is an act of self-respect. It says, I would rather choose my ending than to have my ending choose
That's
me.
right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So, to all of our listeners out there that are teachers, are you teaching or dancing because it still brings you joy? Or is it because you're afraid people will forget you?
Wow. That is
I'm going to
something.
hush on that note.
Oh my God. That is so true. That is so true. I hope listeners are listening, especially the seasoned teachers, the ones that's been out there for 30 years plus years, you know, most definitely listen to your body. Listen to your body because your body's not going to lie to you. And you don't want to push
No, it
yourself
doesn't.
until you push yourself in the hospital. I'm just saying, so
Right.
we listen to that. So, the psychology of letting go of the spotlight, why visibility can become addictive and fear of becoming irrelevant, grief of leaving a community you've helped build, finding self worth outside of teaching and performing. For those of you, me included, who have instructed, performed, been on television, been photographed at events, had your name attached to a dance or a brand and a moment, the spotlight isn't just attention, it becomes a form of validation. Validation. When we receive consistent external validation over a long period, our brain starts to treat that validation like a need, not a want. Now, think of substance. Think of substance, drinking, smoking weed, or whatever. And you started just as recreational, something that you just wanted to do, just have fun. And all of a sudden, you find out it's a need, no longer a want. So that can
Yeah.
happen, okay? It's the same
Mm-hmm.
pathway in the brain that involves reinforcement, the applause, the recognition. Girl, you changed my life comments. They become, in a very real sense, emotionally addictive. Here's an exercise to try out for transitioning called the empty room practice. After this podcast or sometime, sit in a place, called a quiet place, or sit where you hold your classes. Sit in that room with nobody in it, wherever you taught it. No student, no mic, no music. Just sit in the stillness of the room that once held your spotlight. Notice what comes up. Is it sadness? Is it relief? Pride? Fear? Don't try to fix it. Just notice it. This practice, done a few times over weeks, slowly requires your relationship to that room from this is where I am, somebody, to this is where I build something that outlasts me. So the hardest
Mm.
transition isn't from dancing, it's transitioning from the identity you built around being the dancer, the instructor. Letting go of the spotlight isn't about becoming invisible, it's about becoming rooted. Just a new you,
Mm.
a new interest. That's all it is.
That that is so true. That is so true. The pandemic kind of forced me into early transitioning. I'm not going to say retiring from line dancing. A lot of people say to me, "When did you become a DJ?" It was during the
Mm.
pandemic. That was a moment of transition. Prior to
Mm-hmm.
that, I was teaching line dance 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with my one day. I love my Oxford class. Shout out to all the Oxford people that are watching. I love that class and I wouldn't change anything about it, but I don't ever want to go back to teaching 5 days a week.
No, that's work. That's a job.
Yeah,
For real.
that's a job. Yep. And not even a part time job. You're right.
So what happened?
Yep.
Because before, oh, you wanted to teach those five classes every day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So now,
Mm-hmm.
like what happened? What changed? What shifted?
I think life,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, getting older,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I go to bed fine. I wake up, feel like somebody beat me with a
I
bag of
did, girl,
bricks.
you're not
The
exactly what you used to
body,
be.
the body is not what it used to be
What it used to
pre
be.
pandemic days.
No,
Exactly.
there's no
So
way.
life happens,
Yeah,
right? Life
there's no
happens.
way I'll be able to teach
It's a
5 days
lot
a week
easier.
and go out on the weekends,
No,
soul line dancing, and then start over again.
no.
Not at my
But look
age.
how many years we did it.
Yeah,
That we did it for a
we did it for
long
a long
time.
time.
So you gotta start building your legacy instead of chasing relevance.
And thanks for running its
Now
course. It'll run its course. I know you're
exactly,
teaching and you are
exactly.
the dang, you are the what people talk about. They come to your class,
Mm-hmm.
whether in person or online, but it will run its course.
It does. Just like everything else.
Yeah.
Yep. And like you said, you got to start building your legacy
Mm-hmm.
instead of chasing relevance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's flip this because so far we've talked about loss, but this segment is going to talk about what you gain when you stop chasing relevance and start building your legacy. Here's a few ways to leave a legacy. Mentor younger instructors. There's always, every day, there's a new instructor and a new dance that comes
Mm-hmm.
along. Start to mentor those folks. Document dance history. And we're historians in this game. We've been
Yeah.
around a long time.
Yeah.
Write books,
Mm-hmm.
record tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
create scholarships, give back. Someone gave to us, we give back to the community.
Yeah.
Support community events.
Yeah.
Share your wisdom rather than compete. It's not a
It
competition.
shouldn't
This
be.
is something we want to keep
Right.
going.
Really.
We want to leave this legacy
All
behind.
right.
Chasing relevance becomes
I'm telling
exhausting.
you,
You know,
it's
it's
tiresome.
it's trying to stay the newest, the freshest, the most current, competing with instructors 20 years younger,
Girl, can you see me
learning
out there doing
every
all those
dance.
leaps and splits and jumps at my age?
Exactly, at mine
I be
too.
breaking a bone.
You've got to learn to pick and choose. Exactly. Learning every new dance that drops every week, making sure your name is still the first one mentioned. You don't have to do that. It's not a competition. It's not a
No,
competition.
it's not.
Relevance is a treadmill. You're
Mm.
constantly in motion, but you're staying in the same place.
Hmm.
It never fills you up because relevance is measured by others,
Yeah,
by algorithms,
that's true.
social media algorithms, by attendance numbers, by the number of likes you
Mm-hmm.
get, and by who got invited where.
Mm-hmm.
This thing isn't just a Philly local thing. People are getting invited to go all over the country.
Sure.
Yeah, legacy is different. Legacy asks a completely different question. Not am I still the one people talk about, but what did I put into this genre that will carry when I'm no longer in the room?
Yeah.
Stop asking, how do I stay in the spotlight? Mm-mm. Start asking, how do I put more in the light
That I
into
taught
the people that I
people.
taught?
That's right.
Yep.
Teaching people.
Exactly.
Wow.
You can do this by formally documenting your dance routines,
Mm-hmm.
your teaching
You should be
philosophy,
doing that
your
anyway.
training
Yeah.
manual.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So it doesn't live only in your body, but on paper,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ready to be passed down.
Mm-hmm. Just like when they
Spend
did,
quality.
just like when they did the Library of Congress thing, and she documented that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. That will go on for posterity.
Yeah.
Spend quality time mentoring one or two instructors rather than trying to reach everybody.
Yeah.
Can't reach everybody. Reach those that are within reach. Record what you know with video, audio, written as an archive, not for your ego, but for the ones that are coming
Mm-hmm.
after you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Publicly,
Archives.
generously hand the mic to someone you trained
Yes.
and celebrate them in front of
Yes.
your class instead of
Yes.
quietly resenting them
The
rising up.
rising. Come on, y'all. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Teach it. Tell me some
Leg-
more.
Legacy building requires something of relevance. Chasing never does.
Mm-mm.
Generosity without needing credit in the moment.
Yeah.
It's a difference between a tree that keeps trying to be the tallest and that tree that drops seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole
That's
forest
right.
keeps growing
We're a
after it's formed.
community. There you go. We have youngins coming
That's
up
right.
that want to teach, and we should be passing it on,
That's
passing
right.
the torch.
That's right. So, drop a comment in the, in there and let us know what you think.
Yeah,
What are your
because
thoughts
I
on
know
that?
y'all have a lot of questions. Y'all have a lot of because we
Hmm.
present a lot of information, and I'm sure y'all thinking. I know y'all. Your mind is like, what's going on? So
Yeah.
Find new purpose beyond the dance floor. If tomorrow was your last class, who would you become? Explore new ideas. Grandparenting, volunteer, author, wellness advocate, church leader, community mentor, health ambassador, podcast host or guest, and historians of the culture.
All of the above. So if you're not the instructor anymore, at least not in the way you used to be, who are you?
Yeah.
And what do you do with all that energy, that discipline, and the love of the people that you've built over years?
Though I want to talk about purpose and diversification. Say it again, Paula. Purpose and diversification. It's when people try their interest season of purpose to enter their season of purpose to one single role are far more vulnerable than depression and identity collapse when that role ends. So that's through retirement and injury or simply choosing to stop. When people tie their entire sense of purpose to one single role, that isn't good because
Mm-mm.
you might lose that role. And then if your whole sense is in that role, all you are is in that role, then who are you without that role? That's the same thing with teaching soul line dancing. People that teach soul line dancing feels, I am an instructor. I am this role. This is who I am. This is what I do. But what happens when it's taken away? Do you feel empty? Do you feel like you lost your worth?
Mm.
That you're not important? That you're not relevant?
Yeah.
Try not to do that. But people who have multiple sources of purpose tend to transition through life changes with far more resilience. For example, talking about retiring from my job as a computer specialist. I think I already mentioned that when I talked about it. And I just transitioned into my business. It wasn't a thought that that's what I was going to do because I was already teaching. It was a hobby. And I was just playing business. But it actually came real. So I had no choice but to transition because I have a job. So yeah.
Well, ask yourself, what else has always been in you that the dance floor simply gave you a stage?
Hmm.
Was it teaching? Then maybe your next chapter is writing,
Mm-hmm.
mentoring, or consulting.
Yeah.
Was it healing? Then maybe it's moving forward towards wellness coaching,
Yeah.
therapy, community health
Yeah.
work. The way my own path moved from the dance floor into your path,
Yeah. Yeah.
from the
I
dance
mean,
floor to the field of clinical
did you
psychology
even knew this was going
and
to
mind
happen?
body wellness.
you, you transitioned into
Exactly.
podcasting. Did
Yep.
did you think that was going to happen?
Not at all. Not at all. It's another oar in the water. That's what it is. You got to be multifaceted. You
Yes.
can't be unilateral because
Yes.
once that one lane is
That's
gone,
right.
that lane merges into another one. It has to merge into
Oh
something
Lord.
else.
That's life. You got to be ready for
Yeah.
it. When the door
Yeah.
open, knock on the door, be ready to open it.
That's right. Now, don't get me wrong. None of this requires you to stop dancing completely.
Mm,
In fact, I encourage you to continue dancing as long as your body will allow it,
yeah.
because the body still needs exercise and movement, and it still needs joy and community. But your relationship to it has to change.
Yeah.
You go from being the energizer bunny in the room to being perhaps the wisdom
That's
keeper,
me.
the
That's me
historian,
now.
the elder.
That's me. That's who I am now. I was an energized bunny. People would ask me, where you
Mm-hmm.
get all that energy from? I don't know. God gave it to me. But I'm not the energy body. I'm not the energized bunny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta kind of know your place. My own path took me from teaching dance in a prison ministry to noticing the mental health needs in that room and to go back to school and study dance
Mm-hmm.
movement therapy and all that. And that was underneath the dance floor was a sense of healing and a human connection. I felt a second calling. I didn't
Mm.
know that was going. Podcasting was not on my list. It was not on my radar at all. It just happened when I was in a class, and instead of writing papers, because all I do is write, research, and study, write, research, and study. So instead of having to write another paper, I was given the opportunity to do a video. Oh, okay, I can do that. And I'm thinking, hmm, maybe I should do podcasting. That's what people are doing now. And I started to research and everything. And here I am, 7 months later,
Yeah.
podcasting.
Yep.
So,
So transitioning from dancing wasn't a loss; it was a reinvention.
yeah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So you're reinventing yourself. You're going to reinvent yourself throughout your lifetime. You're going to reinvent
Right.
yourself. Don't expect to stay the same where you were back there when you were in your 20s. You're growing. You're
Right.
growing and you're getting knowledge and wisdom and all, and you're reinventing
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Mm.
Well, this final segment, we're going to talk about leaving with grace, so your influence lives on. As we close today, let's talk about how you actually leave, because the way you exit classes says almost as much as the way you leave
That's
them.
true.
Celebrate the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say, "Oh, that sucks." Just don't be bitter. Avoid
Stop hating.
bitterness.
Stop hating because they're getting
Exactly.
it in.
Right. Stop comparing yourself to the younger
Stop
dancers.
doing that.
Right. Express gratitude to your students and your peers, your
Yeah.
fellow line dance teachers.
Yeah.
Leave relationships healthy
Yes.
instead of fracturing
I'm
them.
telling you.
Don't just quietly stop showing up and let people wonder what happened. Tell your community, let them celebrate you, let them thank you. You've earned a real goodbye, not a fade out.
Mm-hmm.
Bless the next generation
Yes, please
publicly.
do.
Like you said, don't be a hater.
Right.
Love on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hand them the mic in front of everyone. Say their name.
Yeah.
This single act does more for your legacy than almost anything
Yeah.
else, because it shows the room that your love for the dance was always bigger than your love for
The
the spotlight.
spotlight. Yes. 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 Yes.
Keep your door open. Grace means you still show up as a guest,
Mm-hmm.
an elder,
Mm-hmm.
an occasional
Mm-hmm.
teacher without
To
needing to
run that
run that
daggone
room.
class. People stop doing that.
Exactly. Presence without control is one of the most powerful positions that you
Yeah.
can hold,
Yeah.
you know? Grieve. Give yourself permission to cry about this if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Endings, even good ones, deserve tears. Don't rush past your own heart to look strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
Let those emotions flow.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, influence doesn't require your presence to remain true.
Mm-hmm.
Every person you taught how to dance, every count you called out that someone still hears in their head
Mm-hmm.
when they dance today. You taught them years ago, they
That's
still
right.
remember that count. Every instructor now teaching their own class because you once believed in them.
Yes.
That is your influence and it is already permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping back from the limelight doesn't erase you. If anything, it's the final, most generous act of life spent teaching, trusting that what you built is strong enough to stand without holding it up.
Wow.
The goal isn't to dance forever, the goal is to leave footprints that others are proud to follow. Those are some strong words.
Oh, wow. Wow. It may be time to transition from instructing line dances, but I don't understand that while our bodies may eventually step away from the dance floor, our wisdom, influence, and legacy will continue to shape the culture, for generations. The dance may
Mm-hmm.
end, but the impact does not. Now, this topic also creates opportunity for listeners to reflect. Did you ever reflect on yourself? What you want to leave, not only as dancers, but as teachers, mentors, and members of the R&B soul line dance community. But that's a good question.
Mm,
Have you ever reflect on yourself? Like, how did I teach that class? How did my
mm.
students feel? How could I make it better? Was I fully present today in class? I know a lot's been going on with me. Just to reflect, it's really healthy for you.
It definitely is.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that was a pretty fast half
I'm
hour.
telling
We
you.
unpackaged
Oh, it
a
was.
whole lot in that half hour. That's our time for today, family.
Yeah.
So if you're standing at the crossroad right now, feeling that whisper, feeling that tiredness, feeling that pull towards something new,
Hmm.
I want you to know stepping back is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter.
Hmm.
So, we both ask you to share this episode with someone who is thinking about transitioning from teaching.
Yeah.
Drop a comment and tell us what you think about this episode because we want to hear from you. This is what keeps us going, keeps us motivated. Follow, subscribe, and like Psychology on the Dance Floor on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Turn on your
Whew.
notifications so that you don't miss any of the live episodes. We're here every other Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, Yolanda, that was a good episode. If I must say so myself.
It was great.
We are parting a lot of information that I hope help a lot of people out there that are thinking
Yeah.
and been on your mind for a while. I think it's time for me to a step back and whatever. Like me, for one, I'd rather be a student in the class now than a teacher. I just want to follow instructions
Mm,
and have a good time and don't have the responsibility of the class on my shoulders. You know, I
hmm
just want to be a student and all. But it is time we have come to the end of our road. Until we meet again, remember, choreograph on purpose, teach on purpose, dance on purpose, and live on purpose. But most importantly, have fun. I'll meet you back here on Psychology on the Dance Floor. Bye.